Today I've got this wheel bearing that's got a lot of play and making a lot of noise. This is a 2016 Ford Galaxy front right hand side wheel bearing. I've taken the two bolts, what size were they, 18mm, out of the caliper bracket and took the whole lot off in one go, and also this little 10mm there, so there's no tension on this. Brake flexi, it's resting on an axle stand. That's where the bolts come out of, in there. Now I'm going to take the disc off and weigh up what's involved. This is a complete hub that's bolted on from the back. So I'll just weigh up what I've got to do. I've got a hub pillar that you bolt on here and hit. I'll try it on this car. I've gone and done a mistake now. I need a 32mm deep socket for the drive shaft, and I don't have one. I've got one, but it's not with me on the van. Now, a lot of that stems back to when I was doing a job for somebody else for a while, and all my tools went into a different toolbox. Now I'm back to doing it for myself, but I started working mostly out of a little kit that's easier to carry to the car. I'll just show you that. This one here, of course, there's no 32 deep in it. I checked in my van. I'm also not carrying it on my van. I've got other deep sockets, but not the one that I need for whatever reason. I forgot to put it on. So that's the next thing that I would have taken off. But what I'm going to do now is get my wife to, she's on her way with the socket that I need, because the ones I got are too shallow and they're barely going to grip on there, 32mm. But I'm going to try and start on the back. Can almost get a 15mm deep. If I can get these bolts out whilst I'm waiting for her, it would make it a bit easier if I could get this nut off and push the drive shaft in a bit. So that would be easier to go on there, but I might get lucky and they come out. So that's my next thing, getting those 4 bolts out that you can see that I've sprayed up here. 15mm. Fit out, I started with a bigger breaker bar that's not that long, but it's longer than the ratchet, and then I got the ratchet on, and I got it that the ratchet's a little chunkier, so it was getting tight against the drive shaft, the CV boot. So I didn't want to break anything in here, so now with the little 3/8 drive, and get it the rest of the way. So hopefully when my wife comes I can just get an impact on that, and I'm hoping the drive shaft's not stuck. It's going to press through and loosen enough that I don't have to take the ball joint out. I don't want to take the ball joint out and then get the drive shaft out and then put the ball joint back on, so I can use the tool, and then the tool I'm going to put on here to batter it out, and then after that put the take the ball, when the new one's on, take the ball joint back off to fit the drive shaft again. I don't want to do all that. I want to just get this, just hoping it'll move. I feel a bit stupid not having the socket on. I'm going to have to go and check what else I'm not carrying on the van that I used to carry. Yeah, a little annoying, but luckily my wife's at home and she's able to nip out and bring me the socket. Hopefully it's the right one. But yeah, this is what I'm doing whilst I'm waiting. We'll get this off, taking those bolts out. Another thing to watch for is these bolts. Every time I come to this one, I've got the bolts are swollen and the sockets stick onto there, which is a pain. I always like to torque them to the correct setting, and well, I put them on with the impact gun at setting 2, which is less. I still have to use the torque wrench to turn the nuts the rest of the way to get them to the correct torque on this one. So yeah, I think maybe over tightening them at some point. It's always been like that since I've got to the car, so this damage has been done before I was starting to work on it. But it's a pain when you have to push a socket on and then wiggle the socket off on each one, especially when you come to torquing them up. You just want to torque it up, but you've got to faff about. They have said that they need a new set of nuts, but obviously it's not been done yet. I think it's when they go for tyres and stuff, maybe they're always really tight when I get it back after they get tyres, and I can't get them off without a breaker, but my impact gun won't even get them off, so yeah, I think that's maybe not helping, over tightening them, but they're probably, to be fair, they'd probably not have lasted anyway, so yeah. Not the best wheel nuts. That's, my wife turned up with the relevant socket and it came right off, so now I'm going to use a bolt. Another thing I've realised is my punches and stuff that I used to have in the other box. Surprising, I mustn't have needed so much stuff for quite a long time. So I'm going to use a bolt, I put the nut back on at the end and see if that, oh yeah, that's come through. Nice and easy. My kind of fear was that was going to stick on there, so whilst you're here, Shelley, and my wife's holding the camera, I'm going to put this tool in. As you can see, it's had some severe beatings. It's got this armour plating almost bit welded, so it must go that way at the top, and that'll go on there. I've used this on a Transit where you take all the Torx bolts out. I'm trying to get the wheel bearing off that. It was really tight, and that's the problem with this. That's why it looks like that. All the cars I've done it on, I never had that much trouble, so I'm trying to get these set up. I'm hoping these wheel bolts go far enough on, because they've got a cap on the end. Otherwise I'll figure something out. So you just put these two on. I got another one as well that I haven't tried yet, and I thought of bringing that, but again, I don't have everything with me, so... Right, that's on there. That's on there. Let's see how easily this comes off. That's the main thing. All I have to do is hit that. Tighten these up a bit. I think it's moved it a bit. I don't know. It might have got a slight gap at the top of the bearing. I'll maybe knit them up a bit more so that if I can get these a little bit tighter, of course they're that weird shape now, I'm going to try and get them a little bit tighter. Just enough so that they're actually not just on there doing nothing, and the shock actually transfers to where I want it, rather than just everything being loose. Just nipping them like that might help. Let's try it again. Okay, here we go. Right. Yeah, that's it off. Just needed to tighten them, so that's it off. It's a great tool. And just got the new one to go in, and we get new bolts with the new one. I'll clean this out a bit with emery paper. That's the make. If you want to know what it is, there's the part number. But that's been great on all sorts of cars. So I'd recommend that. Obviously Transits are getting into commercials, and they are known for sometimes being really tight. I mostly work on cars, so that's okay most of the time, but my old Transit was my own van, and these can fit out now that we've moved the drive shaft a bit, and we get the new bolts with it, so we'll change them. But it's a lesson for me in being prepared, like a Boy Scout. Be prepared. I thought I had everything, and I didn't. So basically what I'll do is clean that up, put the bearing on, the new one, comes complete. ABS pickups at the back here, and the ABS sensors in the hole here. This one was really bad. You could feel play in it, and it made a noise. It's really rough. I could really feel the play in the wheel when the wheel was on, so Anyway, that's all there is. Once I've done that, bolted it on, I'll torque up the back 4 bolts. Don't know if I'll show it. And that's it done. It's just the reverse. So hopefully this is helpful if you need to do a front wheel bearing on a, I think it's 2016 Ford Galaxy. Thanks for watching.